Come on again.
Yep, I managed to find my t-shirt, pop that on for the uniform. But since in fact is the duality, look, because you're the dark, I'm the light.
Is that what it is?
I think so, mate. It has to be one's white, one's black. So we're in that kind of yin and yang duality of people thing.
The perfect balance, mate. Me and you. Can you imagine?
Yeah, I think so. You can't go wrong with that, can you? Really?
Universal balance. It's all here. It's all here in the academy, mate.
You can't beat it, can you? So let me just. I was just going to post the link to the workshop.
Good. So whilst Andy's doing that, our chat today, we've got an exciting announcement. We have a 3-day mastery workshop. It's mastering the idea behind the academy of how we work through the protocol, and how you can enhance your own holistic practice by doing the work as well. So it literally is for anybody that is thinking about doing this work, either now or in the future. Come in, have a chat with us. It's a private space, so it will be just for people that are thinking about being practitioners and learning a little bit more behind the scenes about what we do. So it's going to be with myself and Andy. We're also going to ask some of the practitioners to come in that have done the course and chat to you as well. So as you can see, Andy's put the links up. It's 3 days. It's going to be at 5 p.m. on the 10th, 11th and 12th of September. So this is really why we've come on today, just to announce that. As we've said before, Andy, isn't it? There's lots of things happening behind the scenes that people don't know about, and we're all over the place doing all these different things at once, and they're now starting to come through.
Yeah, I think it's quite exciting, really. I think, like you say, there's so many balls in the air at any one time, really. Both of us are dropping balls some of the time, and some of the time they stay up in the air. So I think this is one of the good things that's come out with working with Julia. So we've kind of engaged with like a business strategy marketing manager, basically. So one of her ideas was to try and basically, obviously we have the course running in October, and the idea being that we basically talk about a lot of the content of the course in this 3-day mastery workshop. So we're going to cover what we do, how we do it, obviously not in depth, not in the same depth that we're going to do in 5 days, but over those 3 days, we're going to basically cover a lot of the topics and conversations around how we do things, why we do things, why things are done in certain ways. And of course, safety is a really key concern. So anyone working in the spiritual area knows that there's lots of things out there that bite, that we don't really want to be engaging with and connecting with. And obviously we need to employ certain practices and techniques to make sure our practitioners are safe, and obviously they can then continue to work for the client's sort of benefit and highest good. So we're going to cover lots of these things. And it's also an opportunity for you guys to join and talk to us, because again, it's an hour's worth of, or 3 hours of content, effectively talking about the content of the workshops and the way we do things and how we do things. So it should be a really good event. And I think the fact that it's over 3 days, so there's lots of different things happening in each day. So it's not just Jonno and I talking, because as most people know, we can talk non-stop really forever, but we will be bringing on other practitioners, other people that have been through training, to talk about their experiences and the things that they've learned since being trained and the things that they did on the course. And I think there's a whole lot of other content which Jonno might remember that I probably haven't.
Yeah, well, I mean, basically, and good morning, Sarah, by the way, acknowledging your wishes and good morning.
Hi, Sarah.
So really, is to condense what we do in 5 days into 3 hours, approximately an hour a day. And we appreciate that it might go over an hour, but it's not a whole day. So the day one is we're going to go into the academy and why it's there, and the background of it and the foundations of the academy, and why the foundations for us are so important, and the ethics behind the academy as well. So this is going to be there. We're going to start talking about the protocol, talking about the way that we actually work in better detail than we've done on here before. And we could possibly get a little video together of 2 practitioners opening and closing the workings of the protocol as well, so you can actually see physically how it works. And then, of course, what we're going to do is go into the actual workings of being a practitioner. And this is where a lot of people are asking questions. Lots of people are coming to us asking very common questions that we reply quite a lot to. But this is there when we can say, right, this is what happens on the course. This is what we cover. This is how we do it. This is what you do to get certified. This is how you get supported after the course. Once that happens, we then talk to you about the emergency group that we have. You'll have the confidence to look after yourself. You have the confidence to look after your home, your family, your friends, and you'll be able to go out once certified and work with clients all over the world. The business is yours. We don't control your business, but we help you in setting this up. And this is when we have people on the tech side that will come in and give you a chat and help you and advise you with consulting your technical abilities and your tech, your social media, your Facebook pages, your websites. We can help with setting all of that up. Plus, also, we have Julia on board with the Academy as well. And Julia is a business coach and a life coach. And she will also come in to talk to you personally about how you can set this business up. And this is sponsored by the Academy, by the way. Those initial calls with the web guy and with the business coach, this is sponsored by the Academy for people that come into the course. So it's important. We're trying to help people as much as we possibly can. And really, the whole goal behind it is that the more people that do it, the more people that understand it, the more people that talk about it, the wider it's going to go throughout the world, really. And as we all know from the work that we do and from the comments that we see on our Facebook pages, is that it's required everywhere. It really, really is required everywhere. The only hurdle, the biggest hurdle that we have is people knowing about it. So it's that exposure as well. And this is where we all work together. You know, you've heard people come in that have done the course and they talk about the family, they talk about being the tribe. It's exactly what's created, and whatever you want out of it, if you put yourself into it, you will get it out in return, because everybody has opportunities to either work with us. I mean, you can go alone. You can go absolutely alone and work on your own. This is not a controlling environment, but to work with us, you have those opportunities as well.
Yeah, I think you've covered it really well. It's just reading the actual release that we did, basically. So day 1, introduction to spirit release therapy. So understanding the fundamentals and the importance of the facilitator working alongside the spiritual medium. So we kind of cover that in a lot more depth, really. I know we talk about it quite often, but some people still don't really understand exactly what that means and how it looks. We cover that on day 1. Day 2 is exploring the sectors. So we're talking about how SRA and SRT primarily is making such an impact in the world, really, especially when we kind of start to focus on conditions like anxiety, depression, mental health, auditory voice hallucination, hearing voices, schizophrenia, that type of thing. So we're looking at the way that we work and the way that our practitioners are working with clients on a daily basis, and the success stories and the things that we're seeing using the protocol that we work with. And then day 3, we're talking about the mastery techniques, basically advanced skills, enhancing your existing holistic practice, and possibly launching a new career, because of course this is one of the things that we can do with this protocol. And obviously the way that SRA is developed and designed by myself and Jonno's perspective, it's supposed to springboard people to be able to launch this as a career. So again, not to say that you can build a career in 5 minutes, like everything. It will take you along a path of the 5-day in-person course, at the end of which there's still work to do to be certified. But after you're certified, then effectively you can launch yourself with a website, Facebook page, socials. Obviously, there's lots of ways you can market yourself, but you can springboard this into a kind of professional career if you have the time and the kind of, the ability to do that. So some of the practitioners we work with already have holistic practices. They're hypnotists, hypnosis, Reiki practitioners, that type of thing. And they're using SRA or the SRT protocols to kind of augment that really, so they clear their clients before they work on them. And this is one of the key things about what we do. It covers every holistic practitioner. So regardless of what you do as a holistic practitioner, you're working with a client somewhere. Obviously, this method's remote, but to clear the client first and make sure they're spiritually sovereign, removing any negative attachments, curses, portals, entities, that kind of thing, gives you a client that you can work with. Because if you're working with a client that has attachments and has levels of negativity and intrusive control, you're not going to be able to make a massive amount of change very quickly. But of course, once we've detached and cleared the spiritual aspect, then it makes it that much faster, quicker, and beneficial from your practice, your existing practice, to work with that client and obviously see the healing that they then achieve. So that is the whole thing about this from our perspective, is that we would like to see kind of a blue sky thinking, I guess, to a certain degree, but every holistic practitioner employing SRT practices before they work on their clients. And of course, it's safer also for the practitioners, because practitioners will get attacked by negative things when they connect to clients, especially when they put their hands on them. So again, working through a remote clearing gives you more safety as a practitioner working with clients, which generally means you don't go home feeling quite as fatigued and tired and migraines, headaches, all of the sort of psychic attacky symptoms we see often. You wouldn't have any of those if you cleared the client first. So that's where we're looking to kind of move this, so that all holistic practitioners, use these methods basically to provide that level of safety for themselves and, of course, for the advanced healing aspect for the client.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the things, Andy, I know you're the same, is that there are people out there that don't want to do this work, and that's absolutely fine. In fact, there are many out there that don't want to do this work, possibly because they don't really understand what it is that we do. But there are a number of people that come to us for clearance prior to seeing their client for their work. So people that work in quantum healing, quantum hypnosis, it's regular for us to get clearance prior to them doing their own hands-on practical work and in-person work with their own clients. So by doing this, it then enhances the ability and the confidence to be able to do it yourself, obviously. But also, I think one of the things, Andy, as well, is that if people don't really understand what it is they're doing and they delve into these sort of situations and they start working with attachments or with other kind of entity coming in and communicating, they have a risk of taking that back to the home as well. So by having that clear client, that sovereign client, prior to their own work, they don't have to do the work themselves. But it is something that we as practitioners do, and we do work very, very closely with different holistic practitioners of all modalities from around the world as well.
Yeah, that's a good point. I think that's the whole thing, isn't it? Is we're quite fortunate that this covers everything, really. So regardless of what you work, how you work, and what you do, and what your practice is, and whether it's in person or remote, the way that we work and the techniques that we teach, can be used by everybody. And of course, the other advantage, which we all find, and I think most of the practitioners that we teach find really quickly, is that obviously you then have access to us on a kind of 24/7 basis to a certain degree, not just us as in myself and Jonno, but SRA practitioners, because we do actually go to sleep at some point in time. But effectively, if you or your family have problems, you can get checked really quickly. And it's one of the things that we're starting to see is actually quite powerful, is that the practitioners that we're training and certifying and are working with us are in these WhatsApp groups, and then they start to realize how to maintain and hold their own spiritual sovereignty and that of their family. And the knock-on effect for that is pretty huge, really, from a family perspective.
And that's where everyone benefits. That's how the ripple, how the energy ripples out through the family home and through their friends and family lists as well. So there's many advantages, and this is, I think, one of the reasons why people that come on that have done the course have said that it's a life-changing experience, because it's more than just doing the work. And this is what this 3-day workshop is about, really. It's pinpointing exactly why those comments come out virtually from everybody. I mean, we've got Candy that's just come in. She's just said hello. Candy was the very first person to book with the Academy. So Candy holds a very, very sort of special name with myself and Andy.
Yeah, it's a really good point, actually. Hi, Candy. I remember actually seeing that first booking came through because, of course, we put like a year's worth of work into kind of building the whole academy, the website, that kind of thing. And then eventually you say, okay, we're ready to go live. And going live meant we kind of put ourselves out there on social media and from a kind of website perspective and email perspective. And then you sit back and nothing happened, basically. And we were sat back wondering what the interest level would be, because we were like really, really excited and kind of very keen to kind of push this work out there, and obviously following in from Terry's work, and Dr. Palmer was instrumental in this whole thing. So we kind of knew that it works. We know that it works, but trying to get to people and explain that to people and get people trained in the right method was obviously a challenge from myself and Jonno, really. So when we saw Candy's booking came in, it was a quick text to say, wow, we've actually got someone who's coming, basically not just coming from Canada to the UK. So it wasn't just driving down the road for 10 minutes. This is someone who's flying across the world, basically. And of course, both looked at each other with a slight amount of trepidation, thought, we actually have to do this now. I remember quite a few sleepless nights at the start, really thinking, have we got it right? Is the training right? Is the online course going to work properly? Is the website going to do the things it needs to do? There's lots of moving parts behind the scenes, and and balls in the air. So I think there was quite a few challenges, I guess, that we've overcome on this journey. And now we've got to the point that we're doing these 3-day workshops where we actually talk about what we're doing in more depth. And obviously we're available for you guys. And we're kind of aware that for people like Candy, and the other people that came in the first wave took a massive gamble on us, really, because all they saw was myself and Jonno with not much information. We had no kind of prerequisite training to come on to kind of explain to them how we were going to do things and what we were going to do. And some of that was developed by us at the end, really. So it was quite a kind of, a feat of
trust.
To jump in there, really.
And that's exactly what it was. And the gift of trust wasn't lost on myself or Andy either, because as Andy said, it was the realization that the course is going ahead. Not only do we have someone that wants to do the course, but they're flying in from around the world. And then all of a sudden, the numbers started picking up and people started coming into the course. And very soon, we realized that the course was just a week away and we got to get prepared to get it in and get it done. So we've done it. We've had 2 live in-person courses, both in the UK, and we have an online course that's literally going through now, and they're working through the first initial section, and Andy and I will start coming in very, very soon, actually, and start delivering the content of the training and bringing everybody together in that. So very, very exciting times. And this is exactly why we're doing the 3-day workshop, whether it's people that are interested in doing the in-person course or whether it's online. We've got an in-person course coming up in October in Ithaca in New York, US. And next year we have potential coming out. I don't think we're really disclosing the locations just yet, but there will be another UK one perhaps, and certainly another location outside of Europe that's coming in as well. So as soon as we know that we've dotted all the I's and crossed all the T's for our New York course, then we will be working on that and the events for next year, and we'll be releasing those as quickly as possible to give people as much notice as possible. But as I'm sure you'll all understand, our concentration and our heads are in the space for Ithaca in October. So that's priority number 1 at the moment.
I think we're looking forward to it, really. I think it's that thing as well, isn't it? We are aware. One of the things we haven't been very good at really is kind of giving people like a timeline roadmap of where we're going to be and when, because it's all been, let's just kind of suck it and see to a certain degree, which we've done. And obviously that was easy for us to do in the UK because the venue was just down the road from myself and Jonno. So it was picked to be a kind of suck it and see type event to check the training works, the material works, all that kind of detail on the backgrounds put together. And now we've got that kind of cookie cutter model. We can now basically replicate that around the world to different places. So it's just a case of us now putting our stake in the sand to say this is where we're going to be in this date. We're coming to this country to do this training. But obviously for people that are interested to join us and do that, lots of people talk about the money aspect and payment plans and things. We've been struggling with the concept of payment plans really, because trying to deal with some of the big companies is quite difficult because they basically won't offer us payment plans. So we've had to come up with our own solution, which isn't fantastic, but it's better than nothing to a certain degree. But it works, yeah. But I guess if you're thinking you'd like to be someone to do the online or the the in-person course, then from our perspective, we would say to you, just start to put money aside every month, basically, because you know the cost of the training. And as soon as we say we're coming to your area, your country, at some point we will, then effectively, you can have that kind of nest egg sat there ready to basically, join us and pay for the training. So lots of people are keen, and we know that we have dropped it quite quickly. So the other two courses, we announced them sort of within 3 to 4 months of them actually happening, which we were aware wasn't a massive amount of notice really. And the people that again, like Candy, that joined, did, I assume, probably dropped everything to kind of race across the world and join us. So we're trying to get to a point that doesn't happen anymore, that when we're coming to your country, your area, and you can start to put money aside and start to prepare yourself from a kind of work perspective, time off work, holidays, that type of thing. Because we are aware that people, again, need time to do this. So lots of people have taken holidays from work or have childcare to arrange. So there is lots of things in the background that need to be orchestrated and set up. So we are focused on trying to make it easier for you guys to basically join us in that way.
So that's our plans. That's what we're trying to do. And as you can probably imagine, just the two of us trying to do all of this is the biggest reason why we've had the hurdle with timelines trying to get things done. But we have an expanding team behind us now, and some very, very good people working with us. So things will get smoother. Things will get easier. We are looking at payment plans for both the online section as well as the in-person, although at present it's just the in-person that has the payment plan. But we are trying our best to make sure that we get everything done to make things as smoothly as possible for everyone, because it's the work which is the focus, and it's the work where we have to push this into the mental health sector, those that are suffering with anxiety. This is everything that we need to do. So the smoother the academy, the more people we have working professionally with us, the smoother the outcome and the quicker the outcome. And we're getting there. We're getting there. Okay, Candy Brown, we're in AU. Are you, by the way, I'm in Brisbane. Oh, sorry, I don't think that's to me. Or I don't think that's to us. I think that's possibly to... I'm jumping in on someone's private conversation.
Yeah, that's the sort of thing you do, mate, all the time.
Mate,
that's because you're nosy. That's why.
It's what I'm good at. It's what I'm good at. So, and have a think about it. Wherever it is in the world, we've got an interest in teaching practitioners and getting this out there. We generally need 15 to 20 students per course minimum, dependent on where it is, because the costs vary incredibly on location and where we have to go and how we get there. But that's generally what we work with. And this is it. This is what the 3-day course is all about, just having that exposure. Andy and I try and be as transparent as possible, and this is another opportunity for you to come on in a private, secure and safe space, ask us questions, cover any concerns that you have, and we can talk you through it in a lot more detail than we have done before. And that's the reason why we've come on here today, just to explain that, and hopefully hopefully we'll start seeing it come through the application. The link, I think, Andy, is the first comment, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll just post the link again, just for anyone that hasn't seen it. So this is the registration link, basically. So if you click that, it'll take you to a Zoom registration form.
Yeah.
And it's totally free, so there's no cost at all. So it's 3 days, an hour a day, approximately 5 p.m. till 6 on September the 10th, 11th, and 12th. So basically, if you'd like to register, you can join us, and hopefully we'll be able to give you more of an insight into the weird, wonderful, magical world of an SRT practitioner as designed by ourselves from an SRA perspective, which will be fun.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So we're going to leave that with you. Have a little think about it. See if you want to come in and join us. See if it is for you. And as we say, do you hear the call? Are you being called to come and do this work? And just very, very quickly before we hold off, Olivia, if you can get the practice, if you can get the students there, or if you can help us get the students there, we're in. Louise and I were only talking last night about how nice it would be to go to Hawaii for a holiday.
No, it's not supposed to be a holiday, it's supposed to be work.
Well, mix the two. I'm sure we can mix the two.
I think you can, yeah. Well, yeah, after work you need a holiday, mate, anyway.
Yeah, we all blooming need a holiday for the amount of hours we do. So yeah, we'll leave that with you. We hope that this finds you all very, very well. Any questions, just let us know. Contact at spiritreleaseacademy.co.uk. Sorry, .com. spiritreleaseacademy.com. We will get back to you as soon as we can. And we will look forward to speaking to you again.
Perfect. Okay, cheers, folks. Thanks for joining, and we'll catch you again.
Bye-bye.